Sit Down Zumock Podcast, STZ, Z-Man in the house, coming from you live and direct from Tampa, Florida. How you doing? How's it going? Before we get into it, I want to welcome Tyler. Tyler, why aren't you in your car?
I know. I've been slacking. I think I should start doing more in the car. It's been a couple now, right, that I haven't been. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, but, I mean, people look forward to see where you're going to be at all times.
Well, when you're in the car, you only have like limited options, right? You got to go to, I think McDonald's might have free Wi-Fi.
Yes, I'll check with the Great Barry Ribs on where to get free Wi-Fi, because he tends to do all his podcasts where there's free Wi-Fi. Before we get into today, I have a little housekeeping, a little maintenance. The Sit Down Zumock podcast is also free. It's not just on Patreon where you can sign up for as little as $3. Please do so. But you can, if you wait 1 week, it comes out for free, audio only. And you can get that on all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, Amazon, Google, all that bullshit. You could find it. And if you don't want to pay for the Patreon, which is, I understand, maybe you're tight, maybe you can't afford 12 quarters a fucking month, that's fine. This is what you can do. Just leave a 5-star review on iTunes and share it with a friend. So that's that.
It's not.
That's that.
You're not throwing it on YouTube anymore?
It's on YouTube too. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. And by the way, my YouTube channel, Sit Down Zumock, if you can hit subscribe, that'd be fantastic. And like this video, like it, press like.
That'd be helpful.
And ring the bell. I don't know what any of this shit is, but I want to be a YouTube sensation, so I got to play the game. I'm the Jake Paul of podcasting.
You got to choose. Is it YouTube or TikTok? Because it's TikTok for you, man.
TikTok, I was on fire for a minute and I slowed to a halt.
Did you really? Oh, fuck.
Well, I have a guy, my buddy Atticus, running it, and I don't know what the fuck to do. And I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not on there. I don't even have the app downloaded.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't have any apps downloaded. So
you're not even on Twitter. You're not on Facebook. You're off the grid. I'm striving for your life. I want to live your life off the grid.
I mean, it's as stressful as every other life, except I just don't get the news as quickly.
I don't want the news. I'm tired of the news.
It's fair. Me too. I think that's why I did it.
So speaking of the news, let's get into it. The VMAs were on Sunday. Did you watch the VMAs?
No, but when I was scrolling through just channels.
Yeah.
Did like MTV, is that Viacom? Do you know who owns MTV? Because the VMAs were on, holy shit, like so many different channels.
Yeah, I believe it is Viacom. I just did a research check. Yeah, they were really giving it a push. The anniversary, they're trying to make it something special. I talked about this on Mondays with Mazer. It's over. Just stop. It's over. It's done.
Who cares?
Throw in the towel. It was a good run. We had a good time, but these bands, these music artists, they're not as good anymore. I know it's not for me, but it really shouldn't be for anyone. I don't think.
What? But like, who cares? Like, who cares about it? Honestly, like, it's music videos.
Well, they don't even really make music videos. I mean, I guess they do for YouTube and all that, but who's tuning that? They don't play music videos on MTV. So what's the point?
They're not honoring good music videos anyways. It's still just like those, the top 100 Billboard sort of people, you know,
SoundCloud rappers, Lil Nas X, like garbage, complete garbage. And the big controversy over the weekend was Conor McGregor pushed Machine Gun Kelly, went after him. Did you see this? It was controversial. It's all over TMZ. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. So what I know from it is, so Conor McGregor threw his drink, Machine Gun Kelly. Some of it got on, what's her name? Megan Fox.
Yeah. Megan Fox.
And then because Conor's still walking around with this pimp cane. So he tried to hit MGK with this cane. And for the longest time, well, not longest time, a couple days, that's pretty long these days. No one knew why this happened. Right. And from what I just saw earlier today, the reason it happened was because Conor wanted a picture with MGK and MGK said no.
Oh, is that why it happened?
So wouldn't you just go like, wow, fuck this guy then, instead of like throw a fit?
First of all, why do you want a picture with MGK? Who gives a fuck?
Right.
If you're Conor McGregor, like, who cares? And I don't know. Listen, we're both from the Cleveland area, and he's from Cleveland. I talked about this on Monday.
He's not though.
But he's not. He moved there like his freshman year to like the east side, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
from Colorado.
Yeah. He was somewhere weird. Colorado, was it?
I think so. I'll verify it, but I'm pretty sure.
But Machine Gun Kelly to me is a guy. I mean, I've hung out with the guy. He's been on my radio show. You know, I've been backstage with him at concerts. He's performed at the MMS tailgate when we had it, just impromptu. He was a nice enough guy, but I just never really got it. Like, you know, I know he doubled down on the Cleveland Pride thing when LeBron left. He was one of the few celebrity guys like Joe Hayden. They all doubled down like Cleveland represent the land or die or whatever the t-shirt company of the week was. And, you know, listen, right. I wanted to root for this guy, but looking at him now in 2021, he just wants to be a celebrity. He wants to be famous. And I just think he's a tool, complete tool. And that's just my take. I don't know where you stand on him.
Well, like I appreciate some music, but then he tried to do this whole battle with Eminem, which I thought was stupid. But right now I'm seeing that he was born on April 22nd, 1990, when this whole time I thought he was born in 89 because he's got a 1989 tattoo on his chest.
Oh, really?
What would the other purpose of that being? It says he was born in Houston to missionary parents. That's also how he was conceived. From Egypt to Germany, as well as throughout the United States and Chicago, Denver, and Cleveland. So it was probably just like Denver for the longest time and then moved to Cleveland. But
yeah, but I remember he tried to be this like source of Cleveland, like, man, Cleveland Pride, we're in this together, you know, Cleveland till I die. Meanwhile, he has a fucking mansion in LA. He's full of shit like LeBron is. And he's dating fucking Megan Fox, who's, I think, in my opinion, in the next beard. Like there's Hollywood beards out there. Who was the one that was dating Tom Cruise? Katie Holmes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, no. I did know that. Yeah.
But this is how bad the MTV Music Awards got. Every year when I grew up watching the MTV Music Awards, the band that closed out the award ceremony was like, it was always an epic performance, or like the biggest band, like the Beastie Boys, the Chili Peppers, or, you know, Metallica, Guns N' Roses.
Right.
This year, it was Travis Barker and Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Boom! Did we take a dive?
Well, that's the other part of the whole thing, is that they were supposed to do that performance earlier, and there's still no like understanding of like what exactly happened, aside from that they were all set up, and then MGK got up and like ran to Travis Barker, said something, and ran off stage. And then like all the crew came and moved the shit off the stage, and they kept going on with the show. And then they did it after.
Huh. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know why I care. I think it's just because it's all over my newsfeed. I'm like, why? I don't care about these people. I hate celebrities.
My thing was like, before I like knew like, okay, like MGK, like, I don't know why you didn't take a picture with Conor. I don't care. Right? Conor got way too mad about it. But at the end of the day, it still would have been fun to see Conor with his like healing ankle just get a hold of someone like skinnier than even me.
I would like, yeah, it would have been great if he like actually connected and knocked out Machine Gun. That would have been fantastic. I would have enjoyed that a lot.
Great for both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Machine Gun Kelly's kind of a bitch. So I don't even know. I just listen. I used to root for the guy, but I just don't like him because I just see how he just wants to be famous. Like he's always in tabloids, and you know, these people call paparazzi on themselves so they can be all over the place. It's really sick. It's really sad life out there. I think it's because I hate LA so much, and I had such a bad experience living there that I'm almost vengeful and spiteful to anybody that loves LA or wants to be a part of that.
If that's their way of living, man. Because I don't know. I don't hate the guy. I used to, I guess, like you. I used to like him, you know, and just like, yeah, fucking representing Cleveland, cool. And then like I learned, like, obviously, like, he was at that time, way back then, he was making no money, right? Because the record labels are just like owning the masters, licensing it out, making the money themselves, and he's getting shambles, right? And at that point, I think you might get stuck going like, well, I've got two options. Stop everything I'm doing and try and do all on my own, or this route that he might have took of like just go full Hollywood so I can start making money on commercials or whatever the fuck else he does.
He sold his soul. He sold his soul to be a part of the beast, the animal. And I don't know, maybe because I saw how the sausage was made, the behind the closed doors, and how gross these people are, it really turned me off. That's why I'm completely rogue. I will be rogue for the rest of my life. I'm on a battleship in the middle of the ocean, and that's where I'm gonna stay. And you guys can go on the journey with me. That's cool, or not. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be famous ever again. Not that I ever was. Well, that leads me to my next story, because I talked to my landlord, Gladwell Ape, about this, and I'll tie it all back together to this fame thing. I hate my mailman.
Yeah. Not a lot of research I could have done on this one.
No, this is, I'll explain it to you and you give me your feedback, and people at home, by all means, email me, call in, and let me know what you think. So I lived in this place for over a year, and right outside my unit are the mailboxes for the whole complex. Well, not all of them. There's another side to it. So every day around 4:30, 5, this mailman comes and he just fucking makes a racket, just banging the doors, yelling. He's talking to everybody, won't shut the fuck up. And for a while there, he would knock on my door every day, like around 4:30, and give me my mail. But then I was, next thing you know, I'm 20 minutes deep in a conversation with this guy. I was like, I can't handle this anymore. Like every day he's knocking on my door, giving me my mail, and I'm stuck in a conversation. I don't want to talk to this guy. He's annoying. He's loud. So if I'm doing anything around that time, like it's over. It's done. If I'm napping, on a phone call, doing a podcast, I got to listen to this guy. He'll talk to anybody who comes in this direction, and it's right outside my fucking door. So now what do? I quit answering the door. So now he knocks. Now he quit knocking because he knows I'm not coming. But there's times like where I'll be on a bike ride or right around that time, and I'll come in, I'll see him like right in front of the mailbox. I'm like, fuck, I can't go in. So I'll just go for,
right?
I go right for another half hour, but I want to go home. I'm hungry, just to avoid a conversation with that guy. So here's the thing. Okay, this is how I tie it all in before I ask your advice. As I gotten older, I've learned to appreciate privacy. I like privacy. When I socialize, it's usually because it's stand-up, but I don't really like going out anymore. I keep to myself. I'm a loner. I'm very isolated, probably not healthy, but I like it that way. And the reason why is, you of all people know my situation back home. When I was on the radio, everyone knew who the fuck I was everywhere I went. And people always had license to say whatever they want at any time. I told this story on the podcast I told my landlord. I remember being at Giant Eagle, which is a grocery store up in Ohio. And I'm just walking down the aisle. I see a guy, we make eye contact. He keeps walking. And as I walk down the aisle, I hear, Zumach, you're a fucking drunk. So I get shit like that all the time. And I don't like it. I don't like that attention. I don't like the limelight. It's gross to me. I don't want everyone knowing my business.
Well, there you got both, though. You probably got that. And then you probably also got, like, in the nightlife, just people trying to feed you drinks. Right.
Oh yeah, like, people would pick up my tabs and I'd get free drinks. I don't think I paid for a drink in 3 years. I live in Cleveland. But to the point, my point being is when shit gets weird and goes south, people will turn on you, and I don't like that feeling. I just don't like the attention. So I like privacy, and I just like being left alone. So which brings me back to, I don't want to interact with my mailman. What should I do? Should I confront him? Should I just don't be so loud? Should I put a sign on the door? Just let it go. Deal with it.
Why has he got to deliver it to you personally?
Well, he quit doing it.
Okay.
I think he caught the hint, because I would answer. Like, he wants to talk. He's a talker, and I'm not. I do my talking on Patreon and iTunes. That's where I do my talking. As soon as I sign off on this, I won't talk to anybody for the rest of the day.
I just I don't know, because I try to be confrontational. You know what I mean? So,
and I do too. I do too. I don't like it. I'll do it if I have to, but I don't.
But if I have to, I'm ready to go to 12. You know what I mean? Like I'm I'm ready to take it up that far because I've sat on it for that long, right?
Yeah.
And I can't, like, you probably shouldn't get into a fight with a mailman, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard enough gig, and I get it. He's probably lonely. I don't know.
I would say just move.
Just I like the place they live. I definitely love the location.
Or one last conversation with him, right? Plant drugs on him.
There you go. I like that.
New mailman next week.
And call the police officer.
Yeah.
The days, by the way, I think he's like took the day off or he's on vacation or it's night and day. Like when he has a feeling, because I look through the peephole and it's like he's quiet, he's not talking to anyone. Like, that's the guy I want on this route.
There he is. Yeah.
Maybe I can maybe I can give him a drink. Like, hey, have a cocktail with me, and then I call the police and he gets a DUI.
So you're gonna Cosby him.
Yeah, except I'm not gonna like fuck him. I'm just gonna. Well, I guess I am gonna fuck him, but in a different one. But this guy has to go. This is how much I hate small talk at this point in my life. I was at Target like a few years ago, and I went down an aisle. I was trying to do a joke for this. The joke never worked, but this was a true story. I went down an aisle and I saw somebody that from high school. I've known this kid since I was like in the 4th grade, and I make eye contact with him and I quickly look away because I realize, shit, I'm going to have a conversation. Like, how you been? Blah, is your kids? What have you been doing? Blah, blah.
Right.
And I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So I pretend like I didn't see him. So I went into the next aisle and he went to the next aisle. So I'm like racing around Target trying to avoid this guy. So I don't have to have small talk or say hi. That's how selfish I am. So I go to check out. He's in the aisle. I'm like, fuck. And there's a long line. So I go over to linens. I'm like chilling in linens, just waiting for him to leave. But I could have had a small conversation, just a small conversation, and been done with it. But instead, I spent probably 45 more minutes in Target that I didn't need to, just so I wouldn't have to have that small conversation.
That's me. Anytime that I wear something Browns, like Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah.
And dude, and it's like someone will stop me and say something, and then like I eventually will turn into the instigator, just because it's like, if you want to fucking talk, we can talk. But like, and then I forget that I want to get out of here. Like, what's the point of that? I don't know you. I'm not going to meet up with you to watch the game.
Yeah, I went to this Browns backers bar on Sunday, and I just wore a black shirt. Like, because everyone had Cleveland shirt, and I love wearing Browns gears, but yeah, it breaks down a conference, especially when you live out of state or out of Cleveland. Like, here we go.
Down here, it's just Bengals fans. So once you run into, and I picked up food one night, just to take out, and the guy he's walking and he stops. He goes, "Is that a Cleveland hat?" So I was expecting like some sort of dumb like, "Oh, we don't serve Cleveland," like. And he's like, "I'm a Cleveland fan too. Have we met before?" Like, no, I think there's plenty of them around here. Like it wasn't me you met. Like, what the fuck, dude? And he just kept talking. And that's where I'm like, the things that you're saying are wrong. So I'm like, I feel the urge to like step in and be like, well, no, like we could do that with XYZ, and then I'm like, well, he fucking caught me. Now I'm stuck in this conversation.
Well, I'll tell you this, because I have a bit in my act. You can get off my album Reckless Operation. It was called Tim Jones is the track. You can find it. This happened to me years ago. I was in the Omaha airport and I had a shirt that said Cleveland on it. And a guy sees me. And at this point, I'm on a layover. I'm hungover. It's like 6 a.m. I want to go home. And I see him looking at me. And I can feel him looking. And then I just make eye contact. And he goes, "Hey, you from Cleveland? It says it on your shirt." And I'm like, yes, I am. And he goes, "Okay, all right, well." And then I swear he goes, "Do you know a guy named Tim Jones?" I'm like, "What?" What do you like? Do I know a guy named Tim Jones? Really? So the bit I do in the act, I said something else. This is stand up 101. But in the act, I said, I went up to him. I go, did you just say Tim Jones? You said he lives in Cleveland now? Thanks. I've been looking for him.
There.
He's a dead man. And I walked away.
I remember that. That.
But it always gets a laugh. But that's what I wanted to do. I didn't do it, though.
What I love and respect is like just recently even, I walked into a gas station, right? Mm-hmm. Passing this dude, this older black guy wearing a Cleveland Indians hat. And as I walk by, I go, hey, go try, man. He goes, okay, then. And just keeps walking like he didn't even know he had the hat on, right? I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, that's how you get out of it. Yeah, that's great. Like, all right.
Yeah. That's pretty funny, actually. I would have go Tribe. I would turn around and go, they're called the Guardians now.
They're called the Guardians.
Okay.
Asshole.
I don't speak tribe to me.
I should have knocked the hat off of him, you know.
Slapped him in the hat. By the way, I just ordered a Chief Wahoo hat.
Yeah, I got one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going next year when all these douchebags that are wearing Guardian shit now.
I guarantee you they won't let you in with the Chief Wahoo hat.
Really?
Guaranteed.
Really?
I don't think they have in a while.
That's like unconstitutional.
I don't think that they've let you in with anything that shows Chief Wahoo. It's got to be the C block, right?
Oh, then I won't be attending a game ever. I'm definitely not going to a Guardians game. I do not.
They probably don't want you there because you're not vaccinated.
Probably. Yeah. First of all, I don't know how I'm going to get there because Fauci's trying to say we have to, if we fly, we have to be vaccinated now. And I'm like, okay, well, then I'm not going anywhere.
Is that happening?
They're talking about it. I mean, it's unconstitutional. I don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to be played out.
That?
I don't know. I mean, people are making up rules as they go. I mean, I'll jump ahead on this one. We'll get back to The Walking Dead, but Jim Breuer is actually canceling shows. Did you see that video?
Yeah. I didn't see the video, but I saw just the titles of it all.
Jim Breuer,
like headlines.
Go to Jim Brewer's Instagram. He does a Instagram live. Okay. Everything he says in that video is exactly what I've been trying to say, but he's way more intelligent, funnier, and a better storyteller than I am. It's like he was fucking nailed it.
Oh, he's a great comedian.
I love the dude.
I wonder though is upcoming comedians. They don't have that power.
You don't. And Brewer's at a point where he's been through the show business. He's seen it all. And people in his position, a lot more people should be stepping out when you can just sell out venues and on your name alone and you don't need the industry anymore. You should do it for sure. You should stand up for what you believe in.
Yeah.
But the problem is these Patton Oswalts, these guys who suck the Hollywood tit, they got to play the game. They got to say what you're supposed to say, even though they don't believe it deep down. But good on Breuer for doing what he was doing. By the way, he lives down here in Florida now. He moved to Florida.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he lives in Naples. I don't want to blow up his spot, but
that's perfect. He's an old man now, so.
Well, he had enough of all the bullshit that's going on in this country. Like, it's not even like we're united anymore. We're all just like Texas, Florida. It's like we're own countries. We're doing our own thing, making up our rules as we go.
It's funny. Yeah, that's exactly right.
But guys like Breuer, I love the guy. By the way, I had one of the most fun times ever in my life on the road, and it involved Jim Breuer. I had a couple of interactions with Breuer, but we were in Madison, Wisconsin.
Does he drink?
Yeah, he drinks. Yeah.
Okay.
He quit for a while, but he's back.
Okay.
So this is what happened. We were in Madison, Wisconsin, Comedy on State, one of the best comedy clubs in the world. By the way, the hottest GMs of all time. So I was there with Godfrey. In fact, I recorded my album, White Guy Named Chad, which you can get on iTunes. Stream it 10,000 times so I can make a quarter. So I'm there with Godfrey, and he goes, dude, Jim Brewer's here. He's opening for Metallica. It was the first show of Metallica's tour. They're in the round tour. He was opening for him. He goes, you guys want to come meet Metallica? I go, fuck yeah, I want to meet Metallica. So we go to the venue, and we hang out backstage. Breuer takes us on stage, like Metallica stage. And he told the story about how he got the gig with Lars and James, and he was doing their impressions. It was amazing. The story was like 30 minutes long. I go, why? And he just told the story. I go, you have to do that on stage. He's like, I go, you're killing with comics telling that story. You don't think you're going to kill in front of an audience?
A 30-minute throwaway.
Yeah, 30-minute throwaway. So here's what happened was, it was like showtime was at 8, it's 7:30. And we usually get to the venue at 7:30. I was like, Godfrey, I got to go, because it was a 2-man show. I was like, I got to do 30 minutes in front of you. And I go, I can't wait for Metallica any longer. So I leave, and Godfrey ended up meeting Metallica because they showed up as soon as I left.
Go figure. Yeah.
But Jim Breuer came to the second show and did a set, and we drank beers. The guy's an amazing storyteller, one of the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he'll go into character, like whatever he's doing. Like the guy he met, he just picks up on their mannerisms. I was like, I don't even know who this fucking guy is. He can do them. Like he can meet my mailman for 5 minutes and do an impression of him.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, maybe I'll introduce him. I don't know. I hate The Walking Dead. That's on the timeline. Have you watched The Walking Dead?
No, so I was interested in this topic because I've maybe seen one episode, honestly. I couldn't tell you how many seasons they have. I think they have one final season coming. I think
we're at season 11 right now. I
the whole zombie thing, like it's not my thing. Like I don't care. Like my favorite zombie movie was fucking Fido, because it was like, oh, they're so dumb you can treat them like pets.
I never even saw Fido.
Yeah, I think it's like a kid zombie movie. So that says a lot about me.
Well, I got into the show by accident. I had a cold, and it was on AMC, and they were doing a marathon, and I just kind of sat. I was laying in bed. And next thing I got caught into it. The first season's great. You know, it's a whole thing, and it's kind of odd. It's a global virus that affected everybody, and they turned into zombies. You know, with COVID, we just became fat alcoholics. But the thing is like I got hooked, and some of the seasons are great, some of them are not. But the past 3 seasons have been atrocious, just bad. And I can't stop watching. I feel like I'm going to miss out. I feel like this is the longest relationship I've ever had, but it's to the point where I'm in this relationship that I want out of, but I don't know how to do it. You know, it's like,
Did you ever watch Lost then? Because I feel like it's probably like the same sort of like fan, not fan base, but like just like that same, like, I need to watch this no matter what.
No, I never watched Lost, but I hear from everybody it ends horribly. Like nobody was satisfied with it because they had different showrunners, and it lost its course from what I hear.
I heard the same thing, that the final episode was like, that made no sense. That was pointless. But again, another one I never watched. So
yeah, and it's the same fucking thing over and over every year, and it's just like, I'm watching this, and I'm like, why? I could just stop watching. There's so much content out there. But I feel like I have to go on this journey because this is the final season. But I'm like, I want to leave now. But I like Sunday's episode. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna find it.
Have you ever been trapped with a show like this? Like you can't get out of?
I get trapped with like I think like mostly like the prison shows. You know, like locked up, or like, you know, toughest prisons in the world, that sort of stuff. I get stuck watching those, you know. And then they got this one, it might be called Toughest Prison. That's like a guy with it's got a host, and he goes and stays 10 days. And it's like, well, this is all calculated because there's clearly cameras in there, because you got multiple angles while you're talking to these people, you know, like, so it's like, you're not just like there.
Yeah.
But those are my shows still. Like, even though I know, like, well, you're as safe as can be, even though this prison is like terrifying, I'm still just, give me more.
I was trapped in Breaking Bad, but unfortunately, it didn't really lose steam. It kind of like, they ended it. I think they could have ended the season early, but the last season was pretty good. So that was a good being trapped. I was like, oh, okay, I'm along for this journey.
I watched all of Breaking Bad, and I also watched all of Better Call Saul.
Me too.
I was super bummed. I was like, final episode, I was like, wait, there's not one more? You know, like, and now we're just going to wait for who knows how long for a final season.
Well, Bob Odenkirk's back on set filming.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, from his heart attack.
Him.
Yeah,
good for him.
He tweeted out, I think last week, that, you know, he was in his makeup chair ready to go. So, yeah, my whole thing was like, when Bob Odenkirk went down, I was like, oh man, just get through the season, then die.
It would make so much more money.
Yeah, it's like, and that's why I'm with Cobra Kai too. I'm like, come on, get these seasons in. These guys are getting older. Let's go.
Are they doing more Cobra Kai?
Oh yeah, season 4 is on its way in December, or season 3,
okay,
4,
okay,
and then they just signed for season 5. But I mean, Johnny and Daniel are getting older by the season. You got to get these in. You know, who knows how long Martin Cove's going to be around? Let's go.
He's gonna start selling electric cars soon,
or something. Yeah, well, we got to just get it done. Did you see Metallica and Miley Cyrus played on the Howard Stern show?
I watched that. Yeah.
Why?
I don't.
Why are they singing with Miley Cyrus?
I don't know the purpose of it, but this is another one where like I don't hate Miley Cyrus, and the reason being is because like she had that childhood stardom.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she's a complete fuck up yet.
I mean, I don't know. She did some stupid shit, right?
But has she ever been arrested? Has she ever had any sort of legal troubles?
That's true.
No, she got to that line of like almost being Britney Spears with like going out in the skimpy outfits and shit. And that's when you're like, all right, well, here's another one. And now she just seems to like be doing her own thing, whether that's like because she's having some sort of mental breakdown or because she was like trying to find herself. I don't know. You know, a year from now.
Her talking voice bothers me. Like the way she sounds.
She sounds like a 2-pack smoker a day, right?
Yeah, it sounds it's a hard. She was on Rogan, I think the last episode before he went to Spotify, and I had to tap out because her voice just bothered me.
Yeah, it's raspy.
I just don't understand like Metallica, who's very respected, you know, and you know, they've accomplished a lot in their music career. Why they're always doing weird shit like with Miley Cyrus, or what was the one dude? They did an experimental record with some dude.
Oh, I don't know that.
But I just like, I don't know. I just say when bands like kind of kill their legacies, but that's just my opinion.
Well, and that's Metallica should have got out, you know, 5 years ago or so. Just be done with it, and they can't. So it's another like I don't know where they live. I assume somewhere in California.
I think a lot of them live in San Francisco. I know James Hetfield lives in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
He's a big hunter.
I just think it's another thing where it's like you can't stop that. It's an addiction, right?
Well, it seems like some bands like run its course. Like I have a feeling like the Foo Fighters are kind of running its course. Like their last album was pretty shitty.
Sure. Yeah.
But like I think some bands like these iconic bands, they have like 4 great albums and it just kind of falls off.
But people are going to keep loving them. And so it's
as long as they play the hits.
Well, and it's like, okay, well, you want to go on a 6-month tour and you're going to rack up however much more money. They're going to keep saying, yeah, because they're not the same people that they were when they like first got into the business.
By the way, the guy they collaborated was Lou Reed. I forgot. It just came to my mind.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, and they did a song with Lady Gaga. It's just like, I don't know.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, well, are they with a label still, Metallica?
No,
is that why? That might be why, right? If you're still owned by a label.
No, I think they own all their masters. I think there was a story about how they, you know, because I think Lars
is able to buy them back.
Yeah, he's like a big businessman and within the band. Wow. Like he had that whole fight with Napster back in the day about them, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, they
were kind of groundbreaking in that regard. But I just don't understand these collaborations. Like the Chili Peppers, I'm a fan of the Chili Peppers. Their last 2 albums with Josh Klinghoffer, I didn't like them. And now Frusciante's back with the band, and I'm excited but nervous because they had a couple of really great albums.
Right.
And then I'm like, shit, this is when it gets weird. But Frusciante's back, so they might save the band. I don't know.
Did you see Jeremiah Watkins special from I don't know how many years ago? It might have even been last year. It was in Kansas City, but he did this joke.
That's where he's from.
Yeah, and so he did this joke about the Chili Peppers like doing a commercial, I think for maybe like Whole Foods or something. It was awesome. Just because he plays those characters, you know. So like he just hit it spot on. I was laughing.
I worked with him in Buffalo at the Buffalo Helium, and He's such a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a friendly human being, like too friendly. Like I go, how are you in LA, dude? You got to get the fuck out of there. They're gonna destroy you.
It's amazing that he hasn't left. Yeah.
Well, I know he's married with a kid now, so I don't know. I mean, maybe he has a lot of opportunity.
Is that not more reason?
I agree. Let me get him on the phone and convince him to get the hell out of there.
I mean, to do that, and like, so you're in an apartment for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, living out there is just brutal in the traffic. But maybe he has commercial work. I don't know, but he was really tight in with Tony Hinchcliffe and those guys. He could be doing
the main band member, right? Like that's when like the band actually mattered on that show. Like the band's good now on that podcast, but like I didn't like listen to the podcast for the band to be good because I can't hear the band music anyway. I listened for their characters, and then not doing it now. So
no, they did some funny stuff because I used to go up to the store on Mondays, and that's when they filmed Kill Tony. But they were always coming out like one time they did the Chili Peppers, and it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was that was I think the magic of Kill Tony was because the band was another comedy element to it.
That's what I loved about it. Yeah. And I still listen now because like the regulars I really love, to listen to those guys come up and every week do it,
I wonder how long this Austin experiment's going to go on for. I wonder if some comics like Tim Dillon are just going to tap out. It's not happening.
But go where?
I don't know. Who knows?
Because it is happening.
Yeah, I guess for a guy like Tony who only tours and does that podcast, I guess being in Austin next to Rogan, who pretty much put him over, is the place to be. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Well, that's where they all went, so that's where it's gonna end up being that hub.
Austin and Tampa, baby. That's where all the comics are going. All the comics are here, baby. I want to finish on this one because we had Bob Levy, who was a regular on the Howard Stern show back in the day.
Interesting, yeah.
And I watched Howard Stern interview Metallica. Then I watched him interview Steve Martin and Martin Short because they have a show on Hulu. And I got to tell you, man, this Howard Stern is not the same Howard Stern. I mean, this guy is completely out of it. It's everything this dude stood for coming up. He was going against the system, hated celebrities, hated the man, spoke for the common man. And now he is so far gone into Hollywood and his bubble that even his interviews are terrible.
Well, that's the thing. He is the man, right? And he is that celebrity. I mean, the money he's making, like, do you think the shit he said about Joe was just because like Joe is proving that you can make this kind of money not doing satellite radio, FM radio, you know what I mean? Like just showing a new avenue that.
Well, that was the beauty about Rogan signing that Spotify deal and a lot of comedians doing podcasts because I worked in radio. I know these radio dudes, how they think.
Right.
And it's such an old school whack mentality that they just found a way around you and all your bullshit. And these old radio dudes with their tremendous egos. I mean, Howard Stern, huge ego. I mean, the guy has his own fucking way to his studio without being bothered. He has security guard, doesn't talk to anybody. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Opie from Opie and Anthony, huge ego. Alan Cox, huge ego. Rover, huge ego. They're all the same fucking guy.
Which is funny because like when you think about Alan Cox and Rover, and you're like, who the say that to like anyone outside of like Ohio, right?
But even Maxwell. But the thing was, they came up on radio when there was no other options. Podcasting wasn't a thing. So their microphone was very big. And
that's fair. It
was almost like TV. There was no streaming. YouTube wasn't a thing. So basically they still have that mindset that they're still the biggest voice out there. And they're jealous of these guys like Rogan to surpass them. But if you look at Rogan's views compared to Howard Stern's views on YouTube, like Stern's not even a thing. It's not even like in the conversation.
No, absolutely not. And then you got to go with the amount of money that the person's giving you, right? The host, if you will, the company. And then your ad spots again, which is what he made most of his money. I guess he got a lot off of YouTube and that stuff, right? But
yeah, I would love to know, because you make money off of YouTube. I make a little bit, not a lot, but it's like enough to pay the phone bill, and it's like that. But some of these guys, I mean, they're making a shitload just from YouTube in their shows. That's why you should subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sit Down Zumach, when you get the opportunity.
And
let's
watch
get this thing
and watch the full thing. It's the watch time hours. Come on, sit through those ads.
Sit through the ads. Listen, guys, this is how it's grassroots. Okay. I said this before. Tim Dillon's making $175,000 a month on Patreon. We're going to have to.
It went up.
Yeah. I don't have an influencer. I don't have Rogan putting me over. So you got to do it. You got to share this thing. You got to put it on your social media. You got to tweet it out. You got to support. That's the only way this thing's going to catch some steam. And I do want to thank, Sam. I'll just put his last initial, Sam E. He's another $100 sponsor on the Patreon, and go check it out. Patreon.com/sitdownzumach. And again, leave a 5-star review on the iTunes. Tyler, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I want to plug Shane Gillis's special. That's it.
Dude, how funny is he?
He's the best.
Dude, I just worked with him at Side Splitters when he was here, and it was just there's only been a handful of dudes where I'll sit in the room and watch. He was one of them. I watched from beginning to end. He's so funny.
He's the best. I love it. I love his personality. I love his when he's around people who are more famous than him, his nervousness about it. That's perfect.
He's a fanboy too, because we were like sitting in the Side Splitters showroom, like the showroom's where the show is, but we're on the outside by the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And he was looking at all the old headshots, and there was a photo of Doug Stanhope. He touched it and bowed. It like he didn't know I was looking at him, but that's how much of a fanboy is. Like he touched it like it was like the Holy Grail. He was the Lord, and he was paying his respects. I go, this guy loves comedy.
You know that like he could just show up at Doug's house though.
But he's super humble, man, because he's only been doing it for like 11 years. And
that's the crazy thing to think about.
And he's that good. And I was talking to Rich Vmas, because Vmas was out here. I was working with him in Port Charlotte, and he's like, that kid got good real quick. Cause he goes, I worked with him in Harrisburg years ago, and he wasn't that funny, but now he is. By the way, that's my Vmas impression. Not good.
It's getting there. No, just that. And his, I would watch any of his sketches over anything SNL.
Well, you know why he does those sketches? That's his middle finger to Lorne Michaels and Saturday Night Live and NBC.
They're so much better.
Yeah. He's like, this is what you're missing out on, bitch. Those are spite sketches. Spite sketches. Yeah.
So good.
No, I too with Tyler, go watch Shane's special. I mean, honestly, I'm not joking. I have nothing to gain from this. Shane's cool. Got his phone number. We hang, whatever, when he's in town. But I just sat in the showroom and watched the whole show. I never do that, ever, rarely. So Shane's going to be one of the best out there, and he's in it for the right reasons, which I enjoy. So
definitely.
ShaneGillis.com, I guess. And check out ChadZumach.com. When is this going? Oh, it's going to be out on Patreon tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So let me plug this show, because I'm kind of nervous about this. I'm going to be filming some shit and recording some stuff for Sirius XM.
New stuff.
So a lot of new stuff. Yeah, a lot of new stuff, because I'm trying to get on the Clean channel, Laugh USA. So they'll play my stuff on the Clean channel. So here it is. Here's the flyer. Boom. One night only. Florida's Greatest Comedian. Sunday, September 19th, 6 p.m. Doors at 5. Sidesplitterscomedy.com. Get your tickets. And again, if you are on Patreon and you want to come, I will throw you on the guest list, because that's another reward. Let's pack this thing out on a Sunday during a Buccaneers game. Not a good booking. So if you know anybody in the Tampa area, send them my way. It's going to be a fun show, though. We're going to tailgate afterwards. It'll be a good time. We got to get you down here. Tyler, excuse me as I burp. I'm a terrible broadcast.
Yeah. No, I'd love to. I've only been to Tampa once, but I lived in Orlando 2 years, Miami 2 years. And,
that's true. You got your Florida fix. Maybe I should come visit you instead.
Yeah, you want to come to Cincinnati.
I'm gonna check the Liberty website to see if there's any good comp, because I got to come home eventually to visit my aunt.
How about you and Shane?
Would love that. Yeah, I mean, Shane's gonna be he's already blowing up. He's gonna be big. I'll check the Liberty Funny Bone website. We'll figure it out. But guys, we'll be back next week again. Every Wednesday, this is out for free, and Patreon a week early, and you get the video on Patreon a week early. But my name's Chad Zumach. That's a wrap. Good night.